So creating a ripple, right? It's always been wanting to deal hope. I always said, I'm a hope dealer. What do you deal? Because we're all dealing something, but what do you deal? And to me was hope dealer. And so the ripple effect of hope dealing, one drop of hope at a time, one drop can make a huge difference. I am able to service anyone in the world that, no matter the age, demographics, really nothing that can stop me servicing. Abundance is there waiting for each and every one of us. We just need to reach and get it. If you want to crawl, we will crawl. If you want to walk, we'll walk. If you want to run, we'll run. Whatever it is. But if you stay put, then I stay put. Really opening the eyes that we are accountable to ourselves. And if you're longing for something, you're wanting something, is because there's really something in there that needs to be expressed. And so how do we help you express that and become that, or just see that you already are that? How do we get rid of everything that clouds it? So officially, I want to welcome you to my Ripple Effect. Basically, this is a podcast that I choose to have once a week, where I love to empower people that choose to listen to it, people that are ready to invest in themselves, then, pouring in so that they can continue to pour out, as most of us do most of the time. And so it's such a treat to be able to introduce to everyone listening today to someone that is a true root cause seeker. She is a certified holistic health coach. She's the business owner of Rebolistic Wellness.com. She has a podcast with the fabulous name of Who the Hell Am I? Right? That's like, what else do we need to say other than welcome with so much love, Heather. Heather, welcome so much. Beebe or Beebe, how would I pronounce your last name?
It's Beebe.
Beebe. Awesome.
Yep.
Heather, welcome. I no introduction can do just to all the things that I know you do, and the ripple effect that you are creating is amazing and such a treat to share with everyone listening today and watching. I often say maybe it's mama's folding laundry during the weekend, or driving, or however it is that they choose to hear this out. What a treat to introduce you to the audience and the audience to you. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you so much. I love connecting with like-minded souls. And I know how you and I were connected through another like-minded soul, as we
Yes.
are. And I I love when it happens organically, because that's when the universe is connecting all the dots, bringing, aligning us with people who share our values and are bringing light to the world too. And it's energizing to be here in your space, in your energy. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate taking the time and making the space for this as well. It's going to definitely reach many and inspire. That's the goal today, to inspire.
Mhm.
As I have been learning a little bit about you, I would love to touch bases today, if it's okay with you, in regards to how self-care shows up in our health. How
Mm,
does that lifestyle, right, relate to how we're feeling and thinking and showing up for others?
yeah.
How that affects our decisions, even, right? And how we are affecting others, really, the domino effect, the ripple effect that it
Yeah,
takes. Um, are you good with sharing a little bit about that and just kind of
absolutely.
guiding me?
Yeah. And I love that you are using the term self-care. I want to expound a little bit on what I feel and believe self-care is. I think that it is much broader than, I think we keep it in a pretty small box sometimes, and we think of self-care as the bubble baths and the facials, and all of that is fantastic, and it's an aspect of it. Um, But self-care, I believe, truly taps into when we are looking out for our health and wellness on every level, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And it is sometimes not comfortable. And that sounds like a contradiction to self-care as we've traditionally thought of it. But I think sometimes self-care is asking the hard questions of ourselves or of our loved ones. Or sometimes self-care looks like saying no to something that is no longer serving us, but maybe it's not an easy no. Maybe it's something that we've always said yes to, and saying no to it, we know is the right uh, answer for us now with where we're at in our lives and where we're trying to go, but that can be a really hard place to go. So that's channeling that growth aspect, right? So sometimes self care is those parts of us that we're growing, we've grown so far, and to continue to grow, we have to start making decisions and taking action in a way that is uncomfortable or maybe not the popular decision.
Right.
I think of self growth as or self-care as those areas of growth. And sometimes it's the boring stuff, like, no, I show up best tomorrow when I know I've gotten enough sleep the night before and I
Yeah.
don't socialize quite
Yeah.
as long. So, and what happens in the end when we do prioritize that and we give ourselves permission, because it's no one else,
Right.
it's us. We hold the power, we hold all the cards, and we like to blame sometimes or not take responsibility, but that's really just a victim stance. But when we take full responsibility and we give ourselves permission to make the decisions that are best for us and go ahead and practice those acts of self-care and treat our life as if we're always in that state of self-care, and we start living our life in that place, then we show up bigger and better, and because we just feel good. And
Right.
that's where channels our health and wellness. We are getting enough sleep. We are nourishing our body with the foods that feel good. We are drinking enough water. We are um, doing the mindfulness practices that help us to set the tone for our day and manage our stress, and we're moving our bodies, we're doing all of those things that are aligned with our soul.
Right.
And when we are saying yes to those things, we're saying yes to ourselves, we're saying yes to our higher self. And that is where we go from just practicing self-care to actually living self-care. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Self-care in action, right? Self-care, learning, like when you said, learning to say no can be one of the most um, healing things. One of the most important steps to get yourself or ourselves, get ourselves onto a routine that really will serve us in order to serve others, right? And so, yes, that's a big one. And it's hard at times. I understand it's hard to say no. I have found if I follow my no, or actually prefix, actually I would say, because I love you, no, because I would have way do it, just not to say a different word in between. It won't be done 100% because I'm not really up to it. And so it's better for me to say no, thank you, right? Or it will stress me out, and then I will be then less with less sleep, like you were talking about sleep.
Yeah.
So that will have a domino effect, waking up and will I do my early morning thing? Like, am I going to stay on task that, within the boundaries that I know I function best and I serve my body? As hard as it is to say no to that ice cream or to that carb, whatever we're
Glass of
craving,
wine.
glass of wine, exactly. Yes. And that's a decision to be made, right? That's self-care. That's saying no to something that we know won't serve us. And so, yeah, those are some things that a lot of times I 100% agree with you are overseen as not part of the self-care situation, creating boundaries, healthy boundaries. Is definitely part of self-care, and it's uncomfortable having uncomfortable conversations, right, with the spouse or with our children on a daily basis. At times, it seems like,
Oh
you
gosh,
know,
yeah.
we have the choice to have that hard conversation now to prevent something in the future that might be a lot more uncomfortable to talk about and unavoidable, so it's definitely wise to look at the full range of what self-care can mean, or
Mhm.
it means, right, and also the full aspect of what the tools are out there to
Mhm.
prevent our bodies even demonstrating that we've been stressed out, that we've been angry. Besides the nourishment, right, we know we already don't eat right. We know what's available to us to even purchase in an organic form is not going to be perfect even. We need to supplement ourselves, and that's another aspect of self-care, choosing quality foods and supplements and quality relationships, just quality, right, not for the not with the air of I'm better than, and so I get better quality. No, it's because the better quality we put into ourselves, the more higher standards we have in regards to respecting ourselves in every aspect, we will be able to give that back to someone.
Yeah.
And it won't deplete us. A lot of times as mothers in particular, I see that where we give everything, and are we really replenishing ourselves? Are we
Mhm.
really nourishing that patience that we are learning to have? How are we empowering ourselves with other tools? Are we also recharging ourselves, with meditation or a massage,
Yeah.
maybe a good friend that we can talk, or, if we go further than that and have professional services that, mentorship even, right?
Yes.
It's so important to clarify. So I love that you have brought on to um, the detail aspect of what self-care can be,
Mhm.
not just the makeup we may put on, right?
Mm.
Or, not that, not just the gym membership.
Right.
There are a lot of aspects. And so what would you say is one of the not easiest, but perhaps doable, something that would be, talking about steps and learning, right? Step by step, creating a strong foundation. Um, what would be one of the first things you would recommend someone to consider doing to have true self-care?
Mhm. I would recommend hands down a morning routine. And you can change that word routine to be whatever word feels good for you, because one thing that I have found with um, working with some of my health coaching clients, establishing a good, solid, healthy morning routine, I feel is incredibly beneficial. It's the thing that really changed my life years ago when I was first in my healing journey. But what I have found is that word routine can sometimes rub people the wrong way. It
Yes,
feels rigid,
yes,
and I don't believe that health and wellness should feel rigid. We need to be in flow. We need to leave space to ebb and flow as we need to as life changes. And so some of my clients prefer to call it a morning ritual,
mhm,
or but I leave that open for people to kind of plug in the word. But really,
yes,
what it means is, how are you starting your day? And I break it down even further to when someone is doing this for the first time, maybe they don't have any kind of routine or ritual in the morning. And so it can feel overwhelming when you listen to certain podcasts of people who would talk about this, or you read certain books, and it's like, okay, well, you need to be doing this, and this much time to each thing, and it's an hour, and you need to be up at 5 a.m. I feel like that can feel very exhausting and overwhelming.
yes,
And so I like to break it down and say, how are you starting? How are you spending the first 30 minutes of your day? What
mm,
does the first 30 minutes of your day look like?
yes,
And for a lot of us, that can very easily be, we're checking our emails already, we're responding to texts, we're scrolling social media. Before you know it, you've blown, I don't know, an hour or more
Yes.
just doing, technology things in the morning, or we're rushing around because we sleep as long as we possibly can, and then we're rushing to get ready and get our day started. And so I encourage people, and I won't go into all of the details right now, but are you getting up with enough time to give yourself 30 minutes of uninterrupted me time?
Hmm.
Time where your phone is on silence, you're not using technology. It's only 30 minutes, you'll survive. I
Yes.
promise. um, any emails or work calls or any of that, it will be there at the end, and it will be fine.
Mhm.
And in that 30 minutes, what are some mindfulness practices that you can be implementing? Not what someone tells you you must do, but what feels good for you. And it's also okay if that changes on a daily basis.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
maybe that includes reading a book that inspires you. Maybe it is doing a guided meditation. Maybe it is journaling. Maybe it is maybe you have some things happening in your day that you're anticipating to be stressful, or you feel nervous. Maybe you're doing public speaking or something. It can be a time to set the tone for whatever is coming up in your day, and to prepare your mindset. And you have a choice. We all have a choice every day of how we want to set the tone. And I'm telling you, like, even right down to what is the first thing that you put into your body?
Yes.
Um, is it a caffeine loaded drink, which I'm not saying you can't have that, but maybe the first thing could be something a little more soothing, like warm lemon water, or a fresh green juice, or, just think about what makes you feel the best, what makes you feel alive, what brings you to life in the
Yes.
morning. And I have trainings on this that I do with my clients to take it much deeper and actually craft something that feels aligned with each person. But that's how I will answer your question, and I will challenge the listeners, anyone who's listening. Assess your morning, assess those first 30 minutes. Are they rushed? Are they busy? Are they stressful? Do you start your day feeling already in a state of stress and overwhelm? Because that will be the tone for the rest of your day. And it doesn't mean that stressful moments won't happen in your day if you do a morning routine. They will, but you show up differently for them. And I share that from practice. I know how I used to show up in my previous life, I call it.
Yes.
Before I got into the health and wellness space, I was a preschool director for many years. And so we were open long hours at the center. The center was open at 6:30 in the morning. So by the time I got up in the morning, I was getting call outs, I was getting parent problems texted to me. I mean, my phone was blowing up, and I actually started telling my employees, my phone will be on silent from this time to this time, and then I will respond. And it wasn't a long period of time. I mean, I was at work myself by 8 a.m., but it was my window, and I honored that space. Um, you have to really give yourself permission to take that space. We're not programmed in this society to take that space for ourselves. We are programmed that the more you hustle and the harder you go, the bigger your badge of honor. So,
Yes. The more
you
of
know,
yourself you've given, and it's obviously behind you from the floor, you did
yes.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to set that permission for yourself. No one else is going to. But as you do, as I did, then when I did get to the tasks of my day, and that person who had called out from work, this whose schedule I now had to fill, and this issue and that issue, I was approaching those things with a calmness
Mm.
and a mindfulness that I wasn't stressed. It was like, okay, we got this.
Yeah.
And people started to notice. My employees started to notice. And it was like, Heather's so calm now when she comes in. And
Wow.
I'm telling you, like I share that with clients now, and I tell them that start a morning routine. It is life changing. And I had one client tell me, she's like, she was a school teacher, and we revisited at the end of her care with me. I was like, "How have you felt with now that you've been implementing this morning routine?" And she's like, "Heather, I'm not gonna lie. When you told me it was life changing, I was just like, okay, Heather, whatever. I'll do it because I trust you." And she's like, "It really was." She's like, "I'm a better teacher because I do this. I show up better for my class because I do this and for my family." So that was a really long answer to your question.
It was a very nice answer because, there was a lot of input that people can choose from. Again, there's a lot of choices, they can choose from. Okay, so I'm just gonna become curious about the assessment of what my morning looks like. That's already starting the healing process, becoming aware that there is something to assess. That's part of the healing process. That's like on your mark, right?
Yeah.
So we can get set and then we can take off and go.
Mhm.
One of the books that you referred to in one of your podcasts, I think you were talking about right now. I was about the same time that I was reading that book. It was very interesting that I heard about 2019, perhaps, that you were
Mhm.
talking about. And that's about the season when I was reading that book too. And it's Miracle Morning, right? Miracle
Miracle
Morning
Money.
book.
Yeah.
It's an amazing book for those of you that are listening and really want to, after assessing, hey, my morning could be a little bit better, for 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, yeah, 30 minutes of uh, filling myself up, right? Putting the right superhero outfit on, basically. That's what I would call it. We're all out there, being superheroes of different kinds and wear different capes for different occasions. And it's just like, what kind of uniform are you putting on? We have to put that on. And so that looks like nourishment. That looks like me time. That looks like a planned out morning that feeds your body, mind, and soul, really, all of those aspects, including what you said. What do you choose to put in your body? I now sleep with lemon water, and also I do have sparkling water as well.
Mhm.
I can't get away from it yet. I am working myself, even though it's homemade, it's
Yeah.
still something that I enjoy and I drink more of because I enjoy it. And so I have lemon water, still lemon water, like you were talking about. And so I have those choices. But then yes, later on I will have my coffee, and even though it's organic coffee with heavy whipping cream, but still, I'm choosing what I'm putting into my body. Um, it's something that we all truly can achieve with
Mhm.
small changes, and again, it will only enhance everything we touch, everything we we say, right? People receiving our energy, our presence will be blessed by that. They really will by what we choose to put in. And one thing I you were sharing a little bit about that, how don't have that permission, or we don't give permission to ourselves because we don't grow up in that scenario, right? When I think of my home growing up, did I see a morning routine like that? No, I didn't. Did I see an evening routine like that, even for the adults? No, I didn't. And so it became a lifestyle situation, not so much, oh, where that's my family suffers from insomnia. Well, maybe if we look at some healthy habits that to change, your will change that domino effect, right? And it could be simple as the routine, the evening routine, as much as the morning routine, right? That what is going to impact your night. And so it's super important to know that we do need to give ourselves permission because, yes, it's not something that comes natural to us. We are always, as responsible adults, whether female or male, we as responsible adults of a child or another adult or even our own household, if we were single, right? There are responsibilities. And so choosing to put ourselves first, the concept of that air mask, that oxygen mask, onto yourself before assisting the passenger next to you on an airplane definitely always comes to mind. As often as I think of like, really, would I really do that if my child is next to me? Now that my children are teens and adult, yeah, I probably would. But younger, you think about that. But as parents, we usually are giving and we're not filling our cup, right?
Mhm.
And to pour out onto others. And so super important to bring that onto perspective. Some ways that other people that are already well into their journey of having a morning routine, that are on a health journey, that maybe they're going through a program with you, or maybe someone that's going through a quantum nutrition membership with me, and they are already well into their journey. It's going to be a journey. There's no end, guys. It's a journey. We're always going. You get going and it's going to be a fabulous ride. And some of us that are into the health journey sometimes continue to seek other ways to empower our self-care, our lifestyle. One of those things that I'm super excited for you to share with us as much as you're able to,
Yeah.
with of course an invitation to check out something that's coming up within your works.
Mm.
I would love for you to share this opportunity, or just that, for us to come and learn a little bit more, to dive deeper into what this is going to bring. I mean, my mind keeps going. I want you to introduce this to us, and then I'll share more excitement I have about it.
I am pretty sure you're talking about my luxury wellness retreats.
Yes, yes.
I'm so excited to talk about this. And this is the first podcast that I've been on to talk about it. So I'm super, super thankful for
Yay! So
this platform.
excited. And many are going to be so happy to know that this is here. I know there's people waiting for this. I have been waiting for this.
Yeah.
So cool.
Well, and I'll share, if you don't mind, a little bit about how it came to be. I have been to retreats, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit the other day. Um, I've gone to a number of retreats over the years, and never was I going to with the purpose of critiquing them or, picking them apart or anything. And that wasn't my experience. But you have these experiences and you come away with maybe, oh, I wish I'd had a little more of this, or I wonder if maybe next time there will be this aspect. Or so you kind of pick and, have these things, ideas of what you would have liked to experience, and along with all the wonderful benefits that you did receive. And when I started crafting my idea for these luxury wellness retreats, I thought, how amazing would it be if these retreats were customized according to the needs and the desires and the aspirations of the client? That to me is a unique idea. I don't know of anyone else offering it. I'm sure there's probably something somewhere that is maybe similar, but and how it started coming together was up until January of this year. Rebolistic Wellness, which is my business, which is Rebel and Holistic put together. That was my health coaching platform. So I worked with individual clients, just doing health coaching. And I started to do some journaling. I felt like there was something more. There was something bigger that I was supposed to be doing. And I started journaling is my tool. And you've been talking about tools, and that's just one of my go-to tools for gaining clarity, getting answers. I feel like I process really well through writing. And so I went to journaling and I started making lists of what do I enjoy and what are things that don't bring me as much joy. And there was a lot to that process. And basically what came out of that process was I really love whole big experiences, like not just one-on-one Zoom calls, where that's great. I'm providing health coaching, I'm guiding them through one of my programs. That's fantastic. but that's not lighting me up to the extent that I think I'm supposed to be lighting up. And I was like, it's an experience. And I started thinking of my business as a whole, and I was like, Rebolistic Wellness is bigger than me. I really believe that it is a movement. And the word movement came to my mind, and I got chills. And I was like, yeah, it's a movement, and it is a movement that is connecting women to wellness in a way that they maybe wouldn't connect to wellness anywhere else. And the way that that is bigger than me is it's not just me providing the services. And that's where I was like, it's wellness retreats. It's wellness retreats where I am bringing in practitioners and experts with different modalities, different gifts. And I am literally curating a retreat experience based on what this person or these people need and are asking for.
Mhm.
And so I was like, how cool would it be? Originally, it was just individual retreats because I was like, how cool would it be for one person to have a weekend literally designed for them? And how special would you
Yeah,
feel,
absolutely. Yes. Oh, wow.
where it's like, here's this weekend, we're going to have, some really deep conversations first, like me and you one on one. And I'm going to get to the heart of what he's struggling with. What are you doing great with? What do you want to achieve? Where are you going in health and wellness? Where are you going in career? Um, and what a way to tie together all the pieces of holistic living, business, mindset, movement, all of it. And I was like, okay, so it started with individual, and then it was like couples and small groups are options as well. And I have different ways that I piece all of that together. So then it was like, okay, I got to build my team. I got to get these experts. And that was actually the easy part because unbeknownst to me over the last few years, as I've been building my business, I have been accumulating souls, if you will.
Yes. Oh, wow. I love that.
I
Oh,
have been just connecting with people, whether either as mentors, like I've been clients of some of these people, or I have met them through networking or so many different ways. And I was like, I have all of these people. I don't have to put out a post asking for people. Like I have them. All I had to do was send an email. And I started sending emails to all of these people in my circle and just started getting resounding yeses. And I was so nervous. I was like, because I didn't have all the pieces together. This was literally notes in my journal. I hadn't hired Aaron yet to do my website. I was just like, this is just pieces. Here's my vision. Let me tell you in an email what my vision is. And can you believe in it? Can you see it too? Like, is it
wow.
something you can say yes to? And everyone just started saying yes. And I was getting, emotion code practitioners and therapists and executive coaches and all these dynamic individuals. And they're now on my team. And they're going to be the ones as I start crafting these retreats. I will be working them in according to the needs of the people that are attending the retreats. So if somebody comes to a retreat, they might have workshops with executive coaching where they're getting business guidance and they are taking their business to the next level while also starting their morning with sunrise yoga and qigong on the beach and having a fresh organic juice bar and having farm to table meals catered in because I have all the local connections. And I said to my boyfriend one day, I was like, now a lot of dots are connecting. Now I know why I connect with people the way I do. Now I know why I've been a client of these people, but then we've just stayed in touch, or these people turn into my friends, or why I know all the new restaurants that are opening in the area, or the new farms, or the new produce delivery. Like I do these things and I know these things and it's been like, oh yeah, it's just how I am. But now I feel like there's a reason why. And so that's kind of how it started. And then everything just fell into place. I got Erin for the web design, and she's fantastic. And even that was effortless.
Yeah.
Even, the way we connected was effortless. And then just all these pieces falling into place. And I'm so excited to craft this vision.
It's like all of those beautiful individual pieces of the puzzle, you were patient to collect them as you chose to have movement through life and saying
Mhm.
yes to things and saying no to things that took you to that place where that piece of the puzzle was able to be collected, right?
Yeah.
That soul that you've gathered. And now you have this beautiful picture that you can offer so many to look at and to
Mhm.
imagine their own, to paint their own. I mean, really, it's such an extension to what healthy families might be already doing and looking to do. Like one of my first thoughts was, my gosh, I often look for family destinations that I will feel that, I mean, let's be real, thousands of dollars are going to, right?
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars are going on to into this vacation where am I really nourishing myself or am I going to come back and need more assistance through cleansing my body and stuff because I just went and damaged it. And I recently experienced, unfortunately, staying at a place that mold was an issue, and I had to assist myself even during my trip with my own practitioner to help me get rid of this mold. And it was my thyroid was affected by that, and my lungs, and it was a little bit of, I mean, I'm almost a month post now with that I don't have that cough and stuff, but it was a challenging at least 2 to 3 weeks. And so I the quality of places and what it's going to be given in return is not just about the location and the people arriving, is really, are you going to go and expand your morning routine? Are you going to go like just amplify it, right? Are you going to further nourish your body, or are you going to come back for a need of a vacation from the vacation? Because that's
Yeah.
usually what I hear from clients, or that's one of the reasons why some of the cases that I help others with or within their health get worse because of several things, one of them being vacation. Going on
Yeah.
vacation can be, if we don't do it smartly. But look at what you're doing. You're creating such an opportunity for people from individuals, single people, right, that are learning to self care and are already in their journey and are open to modalities of healing in different aspects, different ways of eating. And you're also inviting people that might be, the couples retreat. I mean, that was my second day. I'm like, my family, maybe husband and I go check it out first. And then, of course, it's like, well, I know my colleagues, I
Mhm.
have so many colleagues that are always pouring out and giving to others and learning to equip others. That what a wonderful experience it would be to go on a journey of empowering my small business, right? Empowering some, even sharpening up some modalities that I provide as well, right? Like a refresher, that would be great. And then a small business aspect of it, or maybe even talking about how another small business with that has family members has incorporated different gifts that each of them have. Those are all things that will be, my gosh, I just keep thinking of different ways to put things together, but I can think of many groups of people that can benefit from this. And yes, I don't know of anyone that does this
Mhm.
to the T, or like the detail, right? So many details that you can choose. I was looking at some of the aspects, like the modalities that we can choose from. The properties are beautiful. You guys check out her website. She's got detailed information on the properties, well, the area. Again, all those pieces to the puzzle for that beautiful picture that is available to us. And how can we learn more about this? Is there something happening soon that we can all plug in to
Yeah.
launch this
Yeah,
and start
absolutely. Yes.
packing?
Start packing your bags, and while you're packing, tune into my webinar.
Yes,
So I
yes.
have a webinar coming up on June 8th. It's a Saturday, and it is starting at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. So that will be early for people on the West Coast, but it will be recorded. You can catch the recorded version later, so you don't have to miss it. Or you can just get up early and be in the energy of really amazing people, because it's going to be my team. So it's going to be a couple hours, and we are going to dive into truly what we're talking about tonight, the self-care aspect. I say tonight because it's 7:30 my time.
Yes, yes, that's totally fine. Yes.
Um, so self-care, and really how we can use self-care in our lives to combat the epidemic of stress and fatigue that is taking over our country and our society. So my team will all be speaking at different times about their specific modality or gift. And they'll have some really amazing tips to offer the listeners. And also, then, of course, tying it into the retreats, what you can expect if you work with them at a retreat. And it's just going to be a fantastic, really deep dive into holistic living and how all the dots connect, and then a little more information on what to expect at a retreat. And so that's happening on June 8th. It's a Saturday. Go to my website, rebolisticwellness.com. There's more information about my business in general there. But if you go rebolisticwellness.com/retreats, that's going to take you directly to the landing page for the signing up for the webinar, more information about it. And it's a free webinar. So sign up, even if you can't make the 10 o'clock time and you want to catch the replay. If you sign up, then you'll get the link, when that replay is available, and be able to tune in that way. But it's going to be the best way to really get a comprehensive view of how these are truly life-changing events. And to what you were saying earlier about so many different groups of people, as you were talking about, family and colleagues and all of that, I was thinking back to a number of years ago. I kind of started by accident at first. I kind of started a tradition of having a wellness themed birthday every year. And it started by accident just because there happened to be a wellness event going on in my city the weekend of my birthday. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I want to do. And so we had tickets, and it was like, yay, I'm going to spend my birthday at this holistic wellness event, and ended up being amazing. And the next year, I did the same thing. Like, there was something else going on. And so then it became like a tradition every year. It's like, what can I do for wellness for my birthday this year? And I have realized how fulfilling that is. And what better way to go into every new birthday year than with reflection and doing something really good for my mind
Yeah.
and body, instead of the what I used to do, which was drink a lot and
Party
I
up.
don't know, just party it up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think that was also behind the whole crafting of this retreat experience. Was, imagine a group of girls doing this as a bachelorette party option, where instead of going crazy and feeling sick and hungover, you're having a weekend of wellness,
Yeah.
or a team building activity, because this can be crafted for like corporate wellness events. Or So many
Bridal
different
showers, I mean, I could see a
Yeah.
bridal shower like you know, baby moons. This is a baby moon experience, because
Mhm.
within that, I mean, I'm sure there are experts that can come alongside during that retreat of a baby moon and empower that couple to be parents, to empower them with more tools and fill themselves up so that they can pour into this baby. I mean, there are so many ideas that are possible, and this is really a movement. I do see this as a movement. You said that, and you expressed the reasons why it's a movement, and I agree with you 100%. It's a very much needed movement. It's
Mhm.
something that will give back the investment put into it. This is something that will multiply because it will become contagious within ourselves to come back home empowered, to keep feeling better, to have a better quality lifestyle that allows us to thrive in everything we do, because it does affect every single thing we think about, we feel, we allow in or out, or say no to, right? It becomes our it's our energetic field. I mean, it's our magnetism, that's what it
Yeah.
becomes, what we say yes to.
Yeah, and when you talk about, something that's fueling you and then you go home, you feel good, that actually reminded me of something, another aspect of it. So I didn't want it to stop at the weekend. The weekend ends and you go home and it's like, okay, I have learned so much. I've got all this amazing information and growth. But then you go home to real life and it's like, how do I implement all of this? How do I carry this forward into my life? And so actually anyone who does attend a retreat gets access to, they're going to still get sessions with me
Oh,
afterwards.
wow.
So it moves into my 45 day to wellness program. 45 days to conscious wellness is the name of my program. And so anyone from a retreat flows straight into that. And so you leave that retreat and then at your convenience, because I also understand needing time to process and assimilate everything from the weekend. And then, we'll set a time where we kind of pick up and it's like, okay, and now let's flow into these 45 days to continue what you've learned and continue the growth. And so that's how it will continue on. So it ends up being much more than just a weekend
Yeah.
and ends up being truly a life-changing event.
Yeah, it's a weekend that will empower us for a lifetime. It's something that I personally don't know which one of all I will choose first, but I am looking so forward to looking at the choices again and truly, plugging in on the 8th. Thankfully, I'm an early bird. I'm up really, really early in the morning. A lot of people would say I'm meant to be in the East Coast. Because I'm up and I'm a morning person. So 4 o'clock in the morning is like I am happy and just like waiting for the sun to
Love
come
it.
up. Just take it in or salute the sun, whatever it is that I'm going to choose to do. But it's something that I'm looking forward to. In June is that's going to be the second weekend, right? The second Saturday in June, and
Yes.
it's going to be an amazing, informative webinar where we will get to meet your team. And so, again, everyone watching this today or the replay, whatever it is that you guys are going to watch, please make sure that you take note to to be on the webinar, go to the website, sign up for the webinar, and make sure to stay plugged in, because this is one of the most amazing choices to have at your fingertips available now. This is so cool. I am very, very excited about this. Such an empowering tool, one that I know is going to evolve into even more, because again, the need for healthy places to go, places that truly feed us back. They not, or replenish our soul, our
Yeah.
mind, our body. It's powerful. It's very much needed, and I am so thankful that you were journaling about it and that you were obedient, right? That you were with the discipline and the obedience, and you put your tools to work. To, hey, I know that I do great journaling, so I'm going to process that way. And the team was already forming itself.
It was forming, and it was funny because right around the time that I was gathering the team, I went to a full moon women's circle here locally, and it was a sound bath at this lady's house, and it was a beautiful setting under the trees, and she did the full moon sound bath, and then there were some tarot cards and things that we could just pull from, and I pulled a card from the deck, from one of the decks, and it said, "Gather your tribe." And I turned it over and read the other side, and it said, "Now is the time to gather your tribe. Your tribe can be healers, therapists," and it like gave a list literally of everyone, like, and I'm getting chills again right now. I had chills because I literally was in the process of
Wow.
gathering
Yes.
my people. And
Oh,
I was like, okay, I just kept getting over the past months, I've just been getting little signs like that.
yeah.
And I haven't had to work super hard at putting any of it together. It's just happened. And I
Yeah.
know that I have never known so certainly that I was doing the right thing as I do right now.
Because you have chosen to pour into yourself, you're able to pour onto others. And for that, I thank you because we all need it. All of us, including us practitioners, we need people that provide things like that so that we can continue to serve those out there that need us. And that allow us to be in purpose in life and to exercise our gifts. So thank you for that. I truly, truly thank you for that. What an opportunity. It has been a treat. I know that you have a treasure filled with so much to share with us. And I would love to invite you again so that we can share about other things and even perhaps some maybe one of the experiences from having gone to the retreat already. But I would love to have you come back. I again invite each and every one watching, listening, folding clothes, whatever it is that you're doing, mamas, or professional colleagues listening out there in between appointments here and there, make sure to check out the website, check out the webinar for sure. Sign up so that you can get the recording afterwards if you're not an early bird, or that you have a prior engagement. Make sure to plug in. Any last words for this particular episode of our Ripple here? What would you like to say and leave us with?
Yeah. First of all, just thank you to you. This has been fabulous. You are a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I'm so thankful to be connected to you. And to everyone listening, pick an area of self-care that you want to practice this coming week. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever feels good for you, the first answer that comes up is the right one. Go with that. And think of, and it can be small, it doesn't have to be big, but think of one act of self-care that you can take into your daily life for a week. Try it for a week, just one, and then see how that expands. And that's what I want to leave you with.
Thank you, guys. Better words cannot be said. Have a good one. Until next time, go make your ripple count. Thank you, everyone.